Have you ever realized this? There's one person who has never left your side, not for a single day. They've witnessed every smile, every tear, every failure, and every victory. They know your darkest fears and the dreams you've never dared to say out loud. That person is you. And yet, here's the irony. Most of us spend our entire lives chasing love, approval, and attention from others, while neglecting the most sacred relationship we'll ever have, the one with ourselves. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If your thoughts toward yourself are harsh and unkind, you shrink. But if you feed your mind with discipline, strength, and self-respect, you become the living proof of those very qualities. In today's world, driven by comparison, pressure, and endless expectations, loving yourself isn't a luxury, it's survival. It's not about fluffy self-care trends on social media, but about a warrior's discipline, training your mind and heart so nothing can break you. And in this video, I'm going to share 7 Stoic self-care habits that will help you love yourself in a way that's deep, disciplined, and unstoppable. Each one is a step toward building an inner fortress where you'll discover strength, confidence, and peace. So if you're ready to master yourself and build that fortress within, stay with me and make sure to subscribe to the Stoic Habit so you don't miss the wisdom and tools that can change the way you live. Habit number 1. Stop trying to please everyone. Here's a harsh truth. The more you try to please everyone, the further you drift from yourself. Epictetus, the Stoic teacher who was once a slave, put it bluntly, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." What he meant is simple. You must have the courage to honor your own voice, even if it means losing applause, approval, or validation from others. Look around. How many people are exhausted from living lives that don't even belong to them? The employee who always says yes to unpaid overtime just to avoid upsetting the boss. The son or daughter who buries their dreams to follow a respectable career path their family demanded. The friend who smiles at every party, masking the silent collapse happening inside. This kind of self-betrayal doesn't come with a dramatic explosion. It's quiet, subtle, and almost invisible. It sounds like one forced laugh. It looks like one reluctant nod. It feels like one more yes when your heart is screaming no. And over time, those little moments compound until you can't even remember what your authentic self wanted in the first place. The Stoics remind us that true freedom begins the day you dare to say no. No to expectations that don't align with your values. No to relationships that drain your energy. No to obligations that suffocate your spirit. Now, let's be clear. This doesn't mean becoming selfish, cold, or dismissive. Saying no doesn't make you rude, it makes you responsible. Responsible for guarding the most sacred thing you own, your peace of mind. The people who genuinely respect you will accept your boundaries. The ones who don't, they were never meant to be in your closest circle anyway. Every time you choose yourself over false approval, you send a powerful signal to your soul. I matter, my voice matters, my needs matter, my dreams matter. And slowly, you'll notice something extraordinary. Your posture straightens, your confidence grows, and your life begins to align with who you truly are. So stop sacrificing your authenticity for the illusion of being liked by everyone. You'll never win that game. But you can win something greater, the unshakable respect of the only person you'll spend your whole life with, yourself. Habit number 2, treat your body like a temple. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "What harms the hive harms the bee." Your body is that hive. If it collapses, your mind, your spirit, and everything you are will collapse with it. The modern world has conditioned us to treat our bodies like disposable machines. We push them past exhaustion with endless work, fuel them with junk food, drown them in caffeine, rob them of sleep, and then act surprised when our minds feel foggy, our moods unstable, and our energy completely drained. But your body isn't a machine. It's a sacred temple, the home of your soul. And when you neglect it, You're not just harming your health, you're undermining the very foundation of your inner strength. Epictetus understood this better than most. Born a slave, crippled in one leg, he still lived with discipline and simplicity. He ate plain, nourishing food. He rested on a hard bed. He embraced physical hardship, not as punishment, but as training, because he knew that caring for his body gave his spirit the resilience to endure life's storms. His lesson is clear. Self-respect begins with how you treat your physical form. Now, treating your body like a temple doesn't mean you need to become a professional athlete, spend hours in the gym, or obsess over aesthetics. Stoicism rejects vanity. What matters is consistency in the small, intentional choices you make every day. Drink water instead of soda. Take a 20-minute walk instead of scrolling endlessly through TikTok or Instagram. Go to bed on time instead of sacrificing sleep to late-night worry. These are not trivial acts. They are daily rituals of self-respect. Every choice you make whispers a message to your subconscious. I respect myself. I value my energy. I want my body strong so my mind and soul can thrive. Over time, these whispers grow into a roar of confidence, discipline, and vitality. Think about it: without health, what else truly matters? Wealth, success, relationships, even your dreams, none of it can be enjoyed if your body is breaking down. But when you treat your body as the sacred vessel it is, you gain the energy to pursue your purpose, the clarity to think deeply, and the strength to face hardship without collapsing. So, honor your temple, care for it, respect it, and protect it, because the stronger the hive, the stronger the bee. Habit number 3, kill the comparison game. Comparison is one of the most silent but devastating thieves of joy. You could wake up feeling calm, grateful, even content with your life until one scroll through Instagram or one conversation with someone more successful poisons your mind with doubt. Why am I not there yet? What's wrong with me? Why does their life look so much better than mine? Seneca, the Roman Stoic, warned us long ago. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. The craving born out of comparison is endless. The more you feed it, the hungrier it gets. You start running someone else's race instead of your own, measuring your progress with a ruler that was never meant for you. The truth is simple but uncomfortable. Their journey was never supposed to look like yours. Their blessings, their struggles, their timing, it's all uniquely theirs. When you constantly fix your eyes on someone else's path, you miss the growth unfolding right in front of you. You overlook your small victories, your resilience, and your progress that deserves celebration. So how do you break free? First, awareness. Catch yourself when the thought creeps in, they're ahead of me. Stop it right there. Then gently remind yourself, my journey is mine. I grow at my own pace. Replace envy with inspiration. Instead of thinking, why them, not me? Ask, why not me in my own time? Second, redefine success on your own terms. Maybe society tells you success is money, status, or fame. But what if for you it's freedom, peace, deep relationships, or creative fulfillment? When you set your own standards, comparison naturally fades, because you're no longer competing, you're building. Finally, make gratitude your daily weapon. Keep a journal. Write down 3 wins each night, no matter how small. When you see your progress written on paper, you begin to realize how far you've actually come. Remember this: comparison is a game you can't win. Someone will always have more, be more, do more. But when you choose to honor your unique path, you win something far greater: peace, confidence, and self-respect. So kill the comparison game before it kills your joy. And affirm it with me. My journey is mine. I grow at my own pace. Habit number 4. Speak to yourself like a best friend. Imagine this. Your closest friend comes to you heartbroken, doubting themselves, overwhelmed by mistakes. Would you call them weak? Would you tell them they're worthless, that they'll never succeed? Of course not. You'd encourage them. You'd remind them of their strength, their potential, their worth. And yet, here's the strange truth: most of us speak to ourselves in ways we would never speak to someone we love. Our inner dialogue is often brutal. I'm not good enough. I always fail. I'll never change. These words, repeated silently day after day, shape the way we see ourselves. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul is dyed by the color of its thoughts. If your thoughts toward yourself are cruel and unkind, your spirit shrinks. But if you learn to treat yourself with compassion, if you choose words that strengthen rather than destroy, your inner life begins to transform." Think of self-talk as the foundation of your inner fortress. Every word you whisper to yourself is either a brick that builds you up or a crack that weakens the walls. Over time, those cracks let in self-doubt, fear, and anxiety until your fortress collapses. But when you practice self-kindness, every affirmation becomes a stone that makes your fortress unshakable. Start by noticing your patterns. The next time you catch yourself saying, "I always mess up," replace it with, "I'm still learning." Instead of, "I hate the way I look," try, "I'm grateful for what my body allows me to do." Instead of, "I'm so stupid," say, "I made a mistake, and that's how I grow." This isn't about blind positivity or ignoring flaws. It's about honesty with compassion, the same way you'd guide a friend. When you fail, encourage yourself to try again. When you're afraid, remind yourself of the battles you've already survived. When you feel small, remember that growth is never instant. It's built step by step. The Stoics believed we cannot always control what happens around us, but we can always control the stories we tell ourselves about it. Speak to yourself with patience, with encouragement, with love, because the relationship you have with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. So declare it with me now. I speak to myself with love and power. Habit number 5, love your own company. Most people today are terrified of being alone. The moment the room falls silent, they reach for their phone. The thought of spending a day without constant noise, distraction, or someone else's presence makes them anxious. But the Stoics saw solitude not as something to fear, but as one of the greatest teachers of strength. Seneca once wrote, "He who is afraid of being alone is afraid of being free." Why? Because when you cannot sit with yourself, you are a prisoner chained to the need for constant validation and external stimulation. When you learn to enjoy your own company, something remarkable happens. You stop chasing shallow relationships just to avoid loneliness. You stop clinging to people who drain your energy. Instead, you begin to discover a quieter, deeper joy, the kind that comes from being at peace with your own thoughts, your own presence, your own soul. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Solitude is that retreat. It's where you reflect, heal, and sharpen your mind without the distortion of other people's opinions. So, how do you build this habit? Start small. Go for a walk alone without music, without distractions, just listening to your thoughts. Take yourself out for coffee or dinner, not because no one else is available, but because you choose to. Spend an evening journaling, pouring your unfiltered thoughts onto paper. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, but over time, you'll realize that being with yourself is not emptiness, it's freedom. Fill your personal space with things that bring you peace. A book that challenges your thinking, music that calms your spirit, art that sparks inspiration. Cook yourself a meal with care, as if you were hosting someone you deeply respect because you are. When you truly love your own company, you show up in every other relationship stronger, calmer, and more authentic. You no longer need people to escape yourself. You choose people because they add to the life you already enjoy. The truth is this: the most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. If you can't enjoy being alone, you'll never truly be free. But once you learn to love your own company, you become untouchable. Say it with me now. I enjoy my own beautiful company. Habit number 6. Chase goals that fire you up. There's a special kind of power that awakens inside you when you pursue goals that truly ignite your soul. Not goals society handed you, not goals your family expects, not goals designed to impress strangers, but the ones that make you feel alive. Epictetus advised, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. In other words, decide who you want to become, and then let your daily actions prove it. Too many people do the opposite. They follow paths others set for them, hoping that someday happiness will appear. But a life lived for someone else's approval is not a life. It's a slow death of your spirit. Think about it. How many people wake up dreading the day because they're trapped in jobs they hate, careers they never chose, routines that drain them? They tell themselves it's responsible or normal, but deep down, they know they're betraying their potential. Stoicism calls this what it is, slavery. Because when your choices are driven only by fear of judgment, you are not free. True self-love means daring to chase the things that set your heart on fire, even if they scare you, even if they seem unconventional. Maybe it's starting that business you've been dreaming of. Maybe it's writing, painting, or creating music that speaks to your soul. Maybe it's transforming your health, learning a new language, traveling the world, or dedicating yourself to a cause that matters. Whatever it is, stop waiting for permission. The beauty of Stoic practice is that it doesn't demand perfection or instant success. It demands consistency, small, deliberate steps taken daily toward your chosen goals. Each step whispers to your soul, I believe in my future. I believe in my potential. I am worth the effort. And slowly, those whispers turn into unshakable confidence. Of course, chasing meaningful goals doesn't mean burning yourself out. It means aligning your energy with what matters most. When you work for something you deeply care about, effort transforms into joy, and discipline feels less like sacrifice and more like freedom. So ask yourself today, what sets your soul on fire? And then make the Stoic choice not to dream endlessly, but to act. Because the moment you pursue your true purpose, you stop living for applause and start living for meaning. Say it now. My goals matter. My purpose fuels me. Habit number 7, celebrate every win. Most of us have been trained to ignore our progress. We rush past small victories, dismissing them as not enough, and focus only on what we haven't achieved. We wait for the big promotion, the perfect body, the life-changing milestone, while overlooking the quiet, consistent wins that build our identity. But the Stoics remind us, if you cannot appreciate your growth today, you'll never feel satisfied tomorrow. Marcus Aurelius wrote, waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be one. And being one isn't about massive leaps. It's about steady, intentional steps that deserve recognition. Did you wake up early today instead of hitting snooze? That's a win. Did you speak kindly to yourself when your inner critic tried to attack? That's a win. Did you endure another difficult week without giving up? That's a powerful victory. These moments may seem small, but together they forge a stronger, wiser, more resilient you. Celebrating yourself is not arrogance, it's discipline. It trains your mind to notice progress rather than only flaws. It feeds your spirit with encouragement, reminding you that you're moving forward even when life feels slow. Without this practice, you risk falling into the endless trap of perfectionism, where nothing is ever good enough, no matter how much you accomplish. So make celebration a ritual. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you did well. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm proud of you for trying today. When you reach a milestone, reward yourself not with empty indulgence, but with something meaningful, something that honors the effort it took to get there. Why does this matter so much? Because when you consistently recognize your growth, you stop depending on the world's applause. You no longer need constant praise, likes, or validation. You become your own cheerleader, and when you carry that energy, others naturally respect and admire you, not because you begged for it, but because confidence radiates from within. Life isn't just about the final destination. It's about appreciating the journey, the daily victories that shape your character and prove your resilience. Every step you honor becomes a stone in the fortress of your self-respect. So don't wait for permission to be proud. Celebrate your growth, big or small, and say it with me. I celebrate my growth every single day. Conclusion. Loving yourself through Stoicism isn't about staring in the mirror and saying, "I'm perfect." It's about discipline, resilience, and returning to your truth again and again. Some days you'll feel strong and unstoppable. Other days, weak and tempted to slip back into old habits. That's normal. Stoicism doesn't promise perfection. It teaches you to always return to discipline, to honesty, to yourself. So, if this video spoke to you, give it a like and subscribe to the Stoic Habit for more wisdom every week. And drop this in the comments as your commitment. I choose myself first.